GTV, and this is a new feature which is Midnight with Mike. And I don't know how many people are going to watch this, but I really hope that a lot of people watch it, and I hope that you like it and that you share it. Share because you care, because there's so many people at the moment that are in fear. There's so many people at the moment that are stressed, confused. I've created a series of presentations which I've posted to the Mr. GTV YouTube channel and duplicated on the Mr. GTV Facebook channel. And it's all about self-control and coping in challenging times, living powerfully in challenging times. And it is difficult to be powerful at the moment when there's so many uncertainties, so many unknowns. Let me just see if I can sign in. There we go. Right, okay. I think at the moment what we've got is we've got a situation in the world where things are changing so fast. Who would have imagined maybe 5 years ago that we would have had all the world events that we've had? Me personally, I was always waiting for a shift. The Mayans predicted it, and they said it was going to be 2012, the end of an era. A lot of people thought that was the end of the world, but it's the end of an era. Certainly, we're now seeing a shift in the paradigm, the concept of society, the concept of humanity. There's so many traditional knowns changing, isn't there? In terms of politics, economics, finance, religion, gender, culture, society, daily practices, knowns, unknowns. History is being made at this moment, and I just want to ask you to perceive it as being interesting. It's very easy to go into fight or flight or freeze, which are the three prehistoric, primordial responses that we have as human beings. That when we feel a victim to something, we want to fight it, or we want to run away from it, or we just freeze like a scared rabbit in the headlights. And although in many situations, if we were physically threatened, it would be valid to go into one of those three responses, which were given to us to protect us maybe in a bygone era when we were cavemen and women. At times it's appropriate in modern times, but most of the things that my clients come to see me about won't kill them. And if you think back in your life to the things that you thought would have killed you in the past, they haven't. You're still here, so well done. So very few of you watching this, or the people that you'll share this with, will have situations that are going to kill them. So you can breathe a sigh of relief, and in that breath is the clue, in my opinion, or one of the clues, a very powerful clue to what you should do. You can breathe yourself into self-control, because with every emotion comes a brain wave comes a breathing pattern, comes a pulse rate and a heartbeat, and also a body chemistry. And we can't directly change our body chemistry. We can't directly change our brainwave or our pulse rate or heartbeat, but we can change our breath. We have control of our breath. And when we control our breath, we can instantly shift our brainwave, heartbeat, pulse rate, and body chemistry and physiology. So if you're put into a situation where you feel that you're going into fight, flight, or freeze because of what's going on in the world or in your life personally, access your breath. Because you'll find that in fight or flight or freeze, it will change your breathing pattern. So be mindful of this, witness yourself, be aware of this. Most of my clients come to me for hypnosis because I'm a hypnotist, I'm a hypnotherapist, corporately, clinically, holistically. And the very first thing that I'll say to them is that hypnosis isn't the answer, but it's the change work that's done in the hypnotic state that's going to change their perception of what they're running away from in flight, fighting and getting angry with in fight, or they're in a rut with freeze. And I taught them into an alpha state, a relaxed state, and their breathing slows down. When you go to sleep tonight, your breathing will slow down. When you're really calm and relaxed, at ease and pleased, your breathing slows down. We call these quite often breathtaking moments. Because your breath speeds up, your heart speeds up, you go into panic, anxiety, or even excitement. Your brainwave takes over and you lose control. You need to slow your mind down. Find peace of mind. It's very hard to find peace of mind when there's so much fear being projected at us on television. See what I cleverly did there? Television, television. Listening to politicians. Did it again. But you can take control because your life is not in what comes at you. It's in your response to what comes at you. Your life is in your response. And the clients and students that come to me and friends and people within my industry who seek help from me as a corporate mentor, I tell them to get control of their breathing, to slow their breath down. It can be as simple as breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth, making sure that your out breath is twice as long as your in breath, that possibly you breathe in for 2 and breathe out for 4, or you breathe in for 4 and breathe out for 8. And if you do 2 or 3 breaths like that, and check in with your breathing, you can get control and check into your heart rate, your pulse rate, your brain wave, your body chemistry. Your whole physiology changes when you get control of that breathing. It's extremely powerful. You're extremely powerful. But all this fear and stress and anxiety and worry and chaos that's going on in the world will take your power away and you'll feel like you can't get control of it. Well, trust me, you can. I successfully hypnotize and get control of all my clients and students who ask me to, and then I teach them to do it for themselves. And once people get control of themselves, their response to all this shit that's going on in the world allows them to shift. It goes from shit to shift. It goes from chaos to control. It goes from stress and disease to being calm and relaxed and being pleased and eased. That's a really good way of dealing with what's going on. Because really speaking, we can't control what's going on in other parts of the world, in other parts of the country, maybe in other parts of the street or other parts of your house. You possibly can't control your kids or your partners or your parents or your neighbours. And to a large extent, you shouldn't try to, because you don't want people to control you. You can ask people to change, but ultimately it's up to them. But by example, you can change, and maybe as a role model, they'll copy that model and change because of you and not for you. We're not going to change the situation that's being created by legislation, by our government, or whatever you're watching this, the government in your country, your nation, or by worldwide decisions on the larger platform of life, society, government will control. But as an individual, you can just respond responsibly. You are responsible, which means response able. You're able to respond in a better way that doesn't put you into fight, flight, or freeze. And maybe when you've mastered that, share that with other people by example. Be that role model. And if you're not able to get control of your thinking and your fears and your anxieties and your depressions and your control dramas, which are things that are going on in your life that you feel out of control because of, then you can talk to me for free. And you'll find me, Mike G, on Mr. G TV. And trust me, I will talk to you for free. If you go into a program, there's a fee, but quite often just talking releases concern for you. People come to me with problems and go away with solutions. I'll say that again, that people come to me with problems and go away with solutions. So if you want to chat, I'm here for that. But you as a human being, as an individual, are super powerful. And you can have a powerful influence with your positive, constructive, kind, loving response. A positive response, a more empowering response, because you're able to respond. That's your response ability. And the starting point is accessing the breath and getting control of yourself, and then making some really good decisions as to what outcome you want. Do you want to be angry? Do you want to be running around like a headless chicken, panicking, out of control, affecting your performance, affecting your health, affecting your integrity, affecting your decision-making capacity? I would suggest that's a bad decision. That's a bad response, a negative response. A more positive, worthy response, character building response would be to get the facts of what's going on and then set some goals within your capability and move towards those goals. And the first goal should be peace of mind. Don't allow this shit to take away your peace of mind and shift. I use the word shit quite openly because it's S-H-I-T and shift is S-H-I-F-T. Put an F in shit and you get shift, which always amuses me. I hope it doesn't offend you, but ultimately you don't have to experience any painful feelings, because if you change your thoughts, your feelings will change. You don't have to suffer. Suffering's a choice. You can rise above suffering and get control. If you've got pain, whether it's physical, mental or emotional, you can deal with that. And if you can't, we need a chat. If you're in fear, we can deal with that. We need a chat. If you're sad, if you're lost, If you're out of control, we need a chat. I'm here for that. Because ultimately, the only person who can change you is you. So what are you going to do about it? Are you going to suffer? Are you going to spit your dummy out? Are you going to spoil your day? Or are you going to be a warrior, not a worrier? Are you going to be a victim or a victor? And only you can decide, because you are responsible, and you can make some better decisions. And tomorrow can be a new day, irrespective of what's going on in the world. Because if you look for the shit, you'll find it. There's plenty of that in all the areas of life and society that I've discussed. Religion, money, debt, confusion, chaos, fear, wars, illnesses, unexpected expectations, regrets, fears of the future, uncertainty, insecurity, loss. But all those things you will survive, because you are a human being. You're not a human stressing, or you shouldn't be, a human fearing, a human worrying. You're a human being. You've got to just learn to be. As I said at the beginning, if you just take one breath at a time, and one step at a time, and one job at a time, and set some goals, which I'll support you with and help you with, or do it yourself. More power to you if you do it for yourself, but I'm here to help. Then you can get through this. As I say, if you think about all the things that you thought were going to kill you in the past, were going to bring you down, they didn't. And if they did, then we need to talk about that. Because the past doesn't equal the future. And there's lots of free advice for you on my Mr. GTV Facebook group and my Mr. Mike Garner Facebook group. And I've got 4 years of free advice on the Mr. Mike Garner YouTube channel. And this new Mr. GTV YouTube channel is building up a good history of support videos, nuggets of wisdom, hints and tips, and freebies, life coaching, spiritual stuff, mind, body, spirit stuff, clinical stuff, practical stuff, that's there for free on Mr. GTV with me, Mike G. And as I say, I'll talk to you for free. So there's no excuse to go down, rise up, become a powerful person, a positive person, a human being that learns that just being is a good starting place. Just one breath at a time, one step at a time, one day at a time. Don't worry too far ahead. Nobody knows, including me, what's coming next in this vastly changing world that's accelerating in a real chaotic way. But as I said at the beginning, consider it as being interesting. Imagine that you're sat in a cinema watching it all on a screen. Like Shakespeare says, we're all players on the stage of life. Just view it with interest. And don't encourage yourself to watch the news, which is other people's opinions, and in my opinion, very divisive, very controlling, and very manipulative. Don't let the news control your mind, control your own mind, because your thoughts create your feelings. So entertain positive thoughts. Your thoughts that move you in the direction that you want to go. Because at the end of the day, I'm making this video presentation on a Monday. Now, if you put the television on, there's a war. There's impending doom and gloom in all areas of society. Crisis, 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 crisis. That's all you get. But at the end of the day, it's Monday night going into Tuesday. You're listening to me, Mike G. And I've got a cup of tea. Cheers. Go and get a cup of tea glass of water or whatever it is that you drink, as long as it's healthy and positive and you don't lose your control with what you're drinking or eating or taking. Have a good night's sleep. Wake up tomorrow and realise that tomorrow is a new day, and whatever was in the past that was negative, keep it in the past. Remember what I've said, that you can't feel negative if you've got a positive thought in your mind. Positive thoughts create positive feelings. So check your thinking. Witness your thinking constantly. And if you're thinking a fear thought, you'll feel fearful. An anxiety thought, a stress thought will stress you. And a worry thought will take away your power. As I say, don't be a worrier, be a warrior. Think positively, breathe powerfully, and live powerfully. I'm Mike Garner from MrMikeGarner.com or Mr. G from Mr. G TV, just names. But I, like you, feel that the world is crazy. But I can't change the world. But I believe that I can change me, I can change my response to the world. And I also believe, powerfully enough, that if enough people wake up and positively put energetic thought into the world situation, that vibration will change the direction of what's going on at the moment. And that's another conversation that we'll have another time with me, Mike, at midnight. Click like, subscribe, and click your notifications so you see the next time that I'm going live on this Mr. GTV YouTube channel, where everything is free with me. And thank you for watching. And if you found this interesting and you want to talk to me, remember, I'll talk to you for free, and you'll find my contact details on any page where you're viewing this presentation. Just hashtag Mr. Mike Garner, which is MrMikeGarner, or hashtag Mr. GTV, which is hashtag MRGTV. Thanks for watching. Be powerful. Enjoy your mind. Don't go into flight, fight or freeze. Step into your power. Good night.